All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Room1 podcast. I have Dr. Dane Donohue with me from Pennsylvania today. He's the founder of 8 Weeks to Wellness, and he will be speaking here at Room1 in Las Vegas April 20th and 21st. We're extremely excited to have him come to the stage, and he joined us today to let you know a little bit about what he's going to talk about so that you can be looking forward to Las Vegas April 20th and 21st. Welcome to the show, Dr. Dane. It's a pleasure to have you.
Well, I appreciate it, Ben. I'm looking forward to this couple minutes, and I'm also looking forward to coming out to Vegas with you guys.
Oh, good. So what is it that you're going to have a special emphasis on here when you are teaching in Las Vegas?
Well, I think the biggest thing, it's very similar to what you guys do, Ben, in looking at people's financial health, is really helping the doctors to understand what's coming down the road, I believe, as pertains to healthcare. The model, I've been in practice, Ben, for 26 years. I'm a third generation chiropractor with 12 immediate family members that are chiropractors. I'll be 50 this year. I've grown up my whole life with a dad, a grandfather, uncles, going to Parker, going to DE, having a really good perspective of this profession. And I see how the profession is changing. And I also see how healthcare is changing. And I think the key is you have to be able to adapt. And you have to be able to serve your customers. We call them patients, but you have to be able to serve people at a high level. And, so what I want to talk about is how do we do that? How do we meet people's needs and meet them where they are? But also, how do we bring them out of this crisis mentality, probably much like you guys do, to really think about their health objectively and start to look at different cues rather than crisis, symptoms, disease, diagnosis, and start to look at the underlying root cause of these problems. And how can they address that? And how can they implement it into their life in a realistic way? In other words, people are always going to have time concerns. They're always going to have financial concerns. So how do we respect that so that they know that this doesn't have to be a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour job getting healthy, that it's realistic and they can do it?
So what you're educating people to do, and I think if I hear you right, your vision for the future of this country, actually the future of the globe, knowing that you have practices, 8 Weeks of Wellness practices on multiple continents now, is to help people understand that they can live a healthy lifestyle easily instead of playing catch up when they get sick, when they get diagnosis, and then trying to mask symptoms or just get by.
Yeah. Well, we have to, a good friend of mine, Barry Anderson, who may he rest in peace, he taught me a really, really cool paradigm, and that's give people what they want, but show them what they could have. So, people are always going to be in crisis, Ben. I believe that. Sometimes crisis is a real good way to knock us on the head and say, hey, wake up, McFly. It's time to take a look at what you're doing and how that's affecting the quality of your life. But then we have to be able to, unlike the medical profession right now, is we've got to be able to bring these people through crisis and show them a better way, give them a paradigm. And people need structure, Ben, because I always say if people could do it on their own, they wouldn't need you, right? And
Right.
everybody would be healthy. So the fact of the matter is people need a detective, they need a coach, they need a friend, they need support, and they need a positive experience to wrap all this around. In other words, they need to be able to schedule it in their life in such a way that it doesn't interfere with the other priorities that they have.
I couldn't agree more. And that's what your system is. And let me ask you this. After you speak or before you speak, will you be available to doctors in the room that might have questions about how you've been able to systematize what you do so it can be replicated?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually part of what I really enjoy. I come to these seminars, Ben, not just to speak, but to really be dipped in the whole experience. I see the other speakers that you have, by the way, on this platform, and I'm just as excited to come hear them speak and take notes and learn from them as I am to present on stage. So absolutely. It's, some of the best learning for me in teaching comes in those one-on-one conversations because doctors, chiropractic has been so good to me and my family, Ben. The very least I can do is help chiropractors fulfill their mission and their dreams and start to move their life because their life is just the sum total of their experience in chiropractic. I'm blessed because I have a great practice. I still practice myself. I have 81 8 Weeks to Wellness centers. My children are unvaccinated and the healthiest kids that I know. I have been married for I'll be 25 years this year. Chiropractic has been so good to my family. And the very least that I can do is to go out and serve chiropractic and give back to it. And the best way that I know how to do that is to help other chiropractors move in the direction of their dreams and not only be successful chiropractors, but to be successful family men and successful businessmen, and not just to say one day, hey, I was a great chiropractor, but the other areas of my life went to complete hell in a handbag.
Yeah, then that's important. Last year at the seminar, we had somebody who had not been to a chiropractic event for 30 years.
Wow.
And because of the availability of the speakers to talk one-on-one with him, share their experiences, the fact he could see that they were just regular people and they were eager to share how they had done it, it relit his passion for chiropractic, and he went away energized to do more. And I'm expecting he'll be back again this year.
That's awesome. That's good
So
to hear.
we're delighted to have you participate and share in this. I want to ask you this. The country is broad, and most of the states have like 15 hours of CE credit approved for them for this seminar. But what about somebody across the country that, now I know I'm kind of talking to you, I guess, because you're flying from Pennsylvania. But what about somebody from across the country who's not speaking here, who wants to know, is it going to be worth my time investment? Should I really make it? And maybe they want to come, but they don't know if they really want to come enough to invest in the time, the travel, the expense. What would you say?
Well, what I would say is time and money, for that matter, is just a reflection of energy and value. What type of value that we place on our time, and what type of value we place on money. And so this seminar will be what people make of it. If you walk away, I will tell you right now, every seminar that I go to, I listen to the speakers and I take notes. And at the end of the seminar, I go through all of my notes and I culminate an action item list of things that I'm going to commit to. Sometimes it's 3 things, Ben. Sometimes it's 10. Sometimes it's 20. But I really hold myself accountable to that list, because if you invest the time to get on a plane and invest the capital to pay for the seminar, the very least you want to do is get something out of it that's going to change your life for the better. So I would say, value is all about perception, but it's all about holding yourself accountable there's some great speakers. I mean, the value that people are going to get from the wisdom, the collective wisdom of the speakers on stage, that's immeasurable. But the real question is, what are you going to do with it? So, the speaker, the attendees have to say, listen, if I'm willing to invest my time and get on a plane and travel, I'm going to really make a commitment to bring a notebook and to create action items and to make a commitment to change my life in some way by listening to these speakers.
That's one of the best answers I've heard. The action item list was a nugget. If you just do that action item, those of you listening to this, that's where you're going to get the real value out of this. You're going to get the inspiration. But I think that's probably one of the reasons that you've been as successful as you have, the action items. Because if you do nothing with it in any area of your life, you're always going to be where you started, if not worse.
Yeah, I used to be the most unorganized person, Ben, and I consider myself one of the most organized, and I have technology now that helps me. But I get a lot done in a day. I run $2 million businesses. I have a family. I have 2 boys. I like to think that I spend a decent amount of time with my family. And, so the major areas of my life, I feel I'm doing really well. And that's not by accident. That's by design.
I agree. Yeah, it's not going to happen by accident. You have to purpose for it. Mm-hmm. That's excellent. So all of you listening right now, you can go to room1lasvegas.com to register, and you'll save $50 when you register right now because of the early bird discount. And then when you buy your CE credit at the seminar, the $50 you saved will basically make that free for you. So room1lasvegas.com, you can get your tickets there, see the speakers, see the vendors that are going to be here, get the hotel information, all that. Any closing thoughts you have that you'd like to share with people?
Well, I have 2 mottos I live my life by, Ben. One is, who you are speaks so loudly I can't hear what you say. And the other one is, that which gets scheduled gets done. So if you want, if you really want to make a change in your life, schedule it. Get on, make the call, do it right now, schedule it. And then from there, who you are speaks so loud I can't hear you say, show up, arrive, Don't make this about partying. Make this about coming and learning and creating that action item list and going out and do it. And your life is the sum total of what you do, not what you say you're going to do.
Oh, that's very good. Excellent points. Well, thank you for your time today. I can't wait for Vegas. It's going to be a pleasure, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and your family, and looking forward to being with all the chiropractors out there. It's going to be a good time.
Likewise. All right. Thank you very much.
You got to say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Okay. All right. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.